Going on a troll hunt.
Going on a troll hunt.
Gonna catch a juicy one.
Gonna catch a juicy one.
Got my grill all prepped.
Got my grill all prepped.
And some condiments too.
And some condiments too.
This is going to be good. Hearing about this review made me hungry, and I hear just eating one of these little guys can make you happier than you've ever been before. Oh, I can't wait. I see a cave.
I see a cave.
Can't go over it.
Can't go over it.
Can't go around it.
Can't go around it.
Guess I better go in.
Guess I better go in.
I see two eyes. I see two hands. I see... I thought they were supposed to be small! Greetings the world of the internet, I am the great Matthew Squeak, and welcome to Square Talk Review. Troll Hunters. It's another thing I've been getting a lot of requests to look at, and seeing as how it was nominated for 9 Daytime Emmy Awards, there's gotta be something to this show, right? It's a Netflix show created by DreamWorks, who are pretty hit and miss with their programs. They made amazing stuff like Dino Trucks, Voltron, Legendary Defenders, and Dragons in general. Though that last one's quality has tapered a bit thanks to that dumb plot twist in Season 5. I still haven't felt compelled to watch the latest season thanks to that. But DreamWorks has also made some pretty poor quality content, like Dawn of the Croods, Spirit Riding Free, or All Hail King Julian. How did this make 5 seasons and a spin-off show? So naturally I was skeptical of the Troll Hunters, not sure what to think of it, and so it kept getting pushed down on my list of things I wanted to watch. But no more delay, we're here to have a look at Troll Hunters. The two-parter episode starts in a peaceful suburb near the countryside, with lovely views and architecture, and 2 trolls mercilessly trying to kill each other.
A troll hunter never yields. I'd rather die.
Your proposal is acceptable.
This is how you get an audience's attention. They may not have been interested in watching this before, but they certainly are now. I have no idea what's going on, who's winning, or who I'm even supposed to be rooting for. But boy am I invested in it. But not only does it demand your attention, but it also manages to throw out some exposition, and not with dialogue. We see that the trolls turn to stone if exposed to sunlight, mystical powers of the Blue One's armor, that kind of thing. This is so much more interesting and thrilling than just listening to a character spend half an episode explaining everything. I hate you, Clovis. The fight ends with the Blue One, the apparent troll hunter, falling to his demise, while also keeping this amulet thingy safe from harm. Immediately cutting to our actual hero of the story, Jim. Jim the Troll Hunter.
He's Jimmy Jim.
He cooks, he cleans, he cares for his overworked mother. This kid is the epitome of responsible, and look, he even takes the time to make a lunch for his best friend Toby here. We like this guy already. But he does have one flaw, however. He's a cliché dreamer wanting more out of life. And don't worry, he talks about that a lot.
What's life without a little adventure? Oh, live a little! Oh, come on, Tobes, don't you ever want a little more excitement?
Oh, sheesh, kid, who do you think you are? The most recent in a long line of chosen ones battling for the sake of the world? I mean, come on!
Come on, Tobes!
And it is the poll of the day time. How many of us would actually go towards this foreboding sounding voice? I mean, yes, there's the chance of becoming some chosen one in a life or death struggle for the fate of the world, but there's also that off chance it's some weirdo with a megaphone luring you to your doom. So Jim receives his amulet, officially marking him as the chosen one.
The chosen one?
While an unknown creature watches from the sidelines.
The Peloponnesian War was actually 3 wars fought between Athens and Sparta. The first war is known as the
Okay, hold up. This is school now. Because having every kid using a laptop is pretty cool. Also, don't do this. Because this isn't creepy at all. this is a great way to get girls to talk to you. They usually say something along the lines of, "You creep," and "leave me alone," but hey, you got them to talk to you. We also get to know his teacher, Mr. Strickler.
You're distracted. You fell asleep between the invasion of Attica and the Peace of Nicaeus, and your attention wandered for the rest of the class.
You can't tell? I think the whole class can tell what he's distracted by.
Oh, and Jim, if you fancy Miss Nunez, I submit that talking to will be much more effective than staring at.
Okay, fine, I take it back. This guy actually makes a good, wise, and mentor character. Certainly another great character for the show. Well, later that day, Jim takes his teacher's advice.
Buenas noches.
Smooth. Totally smooth. Still waiting. You should have planned a little more ahead than just some Spanish you heard off of a commercial. But his lack of dialogue gets him somewhere.
The school play. We're having trouble getting boys to audition.
Okay, she's either really into boys that fumble over words, or she's really desperate for people for her play. We spend a few more minutes of Jim moping about the same thing as before. I want more out of life. We get it already. Shut up. We already know you're the chosen one. Speaking of cliches, it's time to meet the school bully, because it's practically required to have one at this point. Meet Steve and Hench Kid 1 and 2, who gradually disappear as the show goes on. How does Steve rate as a bully? He's kinda pathetic. Normally this would be a kid making everyone quake in their boots, but really he's more of a comedic nuisance than anything. He's about as bright as a brick wall and not nearly as cool as he thinks he is. And you see, as the show goes on, Jim takes on monsters of all sizes, so whenever Steve is around trying to pick on him, Jim just has this look of, I could kick this moron's butt so easily, but it wouldn't even be worth the effort. So what we get is a show where the main character doesn't even view the bully as a threat. Heck, we even get that classic scene of standing up to him, right here in the first episode. This is something you'd normally see at the end of a movie or a show. Later that evening, Jim continues to investigate the amulet, but the only interesting thing we learn is his ringtone.
I am Gun Robot, pick up your phone.
You know, he could have picked any simple dime a dozen ringtones, and instead we get this, which brings up more questions than answers. Where is that from? I must have it. But eventually, after much fiddling, he finally gets it to work.
Setting the table, setting the china, going to China.
I guess it just doesn't like the Food Channel. But before further investigation could commence, a suspicious noise emanates from the basement. And after equipping the popular weapon in this situation, brooms! Every suspicious noise's nightmare! He goes to investigate.
Whew.
This is the part where the first victim gets eaten. I thought I was watching a kid's show.
Master Jim!
Great plan, great plan. Care to try that again?
Master Jim!
No, yes, because it worked so well the first time. Just creep up behind him and announce yourself as loud as possible. I'm sure that's a great way to make first introductions, and I swear if you make one peep, I will turn you into a pie. The rest of the introductions don't go much better, as we meet Blinky and Arg? Arg? His name is Arg?
It's R. 3 R's.
He is Arg. These two are a typical duo of brains and not brains, but more timeless characters. Blinky has a way with his words and spends most of his time pumping out exposition, but he just has one of those voices that make us hang on to his every word. He could make the history of chairs sound interesting. Then Arg, who is big and intimidating and slow of thought, but deep down sweet and kind-hearted. You couldn't ask for a better duo of trolls backing you up. See what I mean? Even Jim is taking things so well. He even feels compelled to share his experience with his best friend.
I'm kind of in the middle of something, Jimbo.
And he doesn't stop there. He even feels compelled to tell his favorite teacher all about it. That is, until his brain finally catches up with his mouth.
said that they were trainers. Trainers who want to train me in chess.
Oh yes, because that's prime time to go door to door offering chess lessons.
Well, hey there, by any chance are you interested in midnight curling lessons?
You are not a part of my show. Stop showing up. Strickler gives some good mentor advice before giving us a 1,000-yard stare when he sees the amulet in Jim's bag. And later that night, Jim finally recites the ancient phrase,
"For the glory of Merlin, daylight is mine to command,"
to unlock the power of said amulet.
Whoso pulleth out this sword of this stone. Whoso pulleth out this sword.
But that's not the only thing we learned tonight.
You failed. You let it go.
Yeah, no surprise there. We knew he was either an expert on the subject or in league with the villains, right?
Worry not, you brute. I know where to find it.
Yeah, and we can go right now and get it. Like, I know exactly where the boy lives, and he's probably asleep right now. Not very sporting, but it's not like our villain, What's-His-Face, is bound to any code of honor. This seems like a great place for a cliffhanger. Bye, everyone. See you after these messages. Unless I'm still not allowed to run ads anymore. In that case, see you in a few seconds. Did it work? I can't tell from where I am. Anyway, we're going back to Troll Hunters with Becoming Part 2. And now the opening credits play, being the latest in this interesting trend of not putting the theme song in the first episode, treating it more like a prelude to the show. And especially during two-part openings such as this one, when the theme song plays, you know the show just got serious. And serious does it get. Epic music, Troll Hunter and friends facing off against big and bad. Spoilers, that girl from before is throwing her lot in with us. What's not to love in this opening? We return to Jim as he's still trying to...
He's with the patient!
Tobes!
Oh. He's still here? He was here yesterday. Who goes to the dentist 2 days in a row?
Who goes to the dentist 2 days in a row?
Why am I here? Just why am I here? It already tells you how cool it is, and it already makes fun of its shortcomings, so... After 8 hours of dentistry, really 8 hours?
8 hours? I can't believe it takes 8 hours!
Why do I bother? Jim finally gets around to showing Toby his new ability. That pizza is floating! Blinky and Arg have returned, this time with the courtesy to knock first. No. How did you get into the house before?
Jim, we trolls have gone to great lengths to keep our existence secret from your kind, lest there be panic.
That's why they're absolutely graceful and stealthy, only when you're not watching. Seriously, the way these two bumble around, it'd be easier for you to not notice a bulldozer in your living room. Oh hey, how long has that been there? Well, it's time for more exposition time, but like before, the way Blinky explains everything keeps our attention glued. But it's time for that ever-popular cliche of parent is home early, so now we need to desperately keep these things a secret from them.
I might have a food poisoning situation.
Honey, I'll get you some medicine, okay?
Yes, fake an illness. I'm sure your mother, the doctor, will leave you alone and not do anything about it. Why don't you just say you're in the shower? They squeeze out a little more exposition of the history of the previous troll hunter.
Ganjigar the Courageous was his name, brutally slain by a ruthless troll named Bular.
Don't worry, dude. This Bular guy probably just got lucky.
The evidence does not suggest that. Bular is a formidable opponent.
Then the other guy, he was just off his game or something, right?
Doubtful. Ganjigar was perhaps the most alert and able of all the troll hunters.
But not the best, I'm betting.
Oh, the very best. We're dead. So very, very dead.
Oh, and speaking of which, it's been a day or two since Strickler identified the amulet. Shouldn't there be a big, angry troll trying to knock down his house or something?
And how long do I have?
A day or two.
Frankly, we're surprised he hasn't killed you already. Oh look, your mother, the doctor, has returned to care for your fake illness. Who would have thought? He weasels his way out of trouble again as the mother returns to her job, meaning it's time to continue the conversation from earlier. Mainly Jim's lack of enthusiasm in facing down a giant killer monster.
I don't want to die!
Goodness gracious, who does?
There's just something about the way he responds to that. So jolly in the face of mortal terror.
It chose you. It is your
Please don't say destiny.
sacred obligation.
Or that.
This is what you get for saying you wanted more out of life, over and over and over again in the last episode.
You're the one who's always talking about wanting adventure and something more. Well, wish granted.
Why do I even bother with these jokes? With a lot on his plate, Jim is feeling overwhelmed, so Blinky and Arg decide to give him a day to come to terms with his new career field. But not before our new wise mentor offers a point of wisdom.
Destiny is a gift. Some go their entire lives, living existences of quiet desperation, never learning the truth that what feels as though a burden pushing down upon our shoulders is actually a sense of purpose that lifts us to greater heights.
Did you rehearse that? Every time we get one of these heroic speeches, I have to wonder, did you really think of all that off the top of your head? So the next day rolls around and he accidentally armors up because reasons. As far as I know, this is the only time this happens, as every other time it's trying to armatize when it's not working. And Jim finds himself fully armored up in front of Strickler.
Jim, I don't believe that's appropriate school attire, do you?
Okay, so we know that you know what's going on. So does this mean you're just playing along for kicks and giggles just to see what excuse he comes up with?
For Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, it's for the tryouts.
Yes, the tryouts for Romeo and Juliet.
And to keep up this ruse, Jim actually goes to the tryouts and auditions. But wait a minute, Jim doesn't know lickety-split about Romeo and Juliet, so whatever will he do?
Destiny. Destiny is a gift. Some go their entire lives.
Why, recite Blinky's speech from earlier, of course.
Never learning the truth that what feels as though a burden pushing down upon our shoulders.
Wait, what scene are we on? I'm completely lost here.
Is what it means to be a hero.
But the play committee is impressed by his performance over his ability to recite anything from the actual play. So he's got the role, conveniently matching up with Claire as Juliet. On his way home, Jim might as well be walking on air. He's finally got the girl of his dreams' attention, he's getting the armor to work, but that doesn't last long.
Troll Hunter! Merlin's creation! Gunmar's bane!
I think he's talking to you.
Well, there he is. You've had a whopping, 2 days to show up?
Look, he's afraid of the sun.
You had 2 days to plan this out, and you couldn't even do that right. All you had to do was wait 2 more minutes, and you could have pounced right in the middle of them. Well, Jim and Toby take the most logical action in this situation, and run like heck, with Big and Scary hot on their trail.
For the glory of Merlin, daylight is mine to command. It's not working!
See, this is what I was talking about earlier. The armor spends most of its time not turning on when they need it to, then accidentally turning on when they don't. They continue their escape until they encounter some friendly faces. Oh, finally, some much-needed backup.
I could not hope to possess the skill to defeat Bula.
What about him? He's big.
Pacifist.
Seriously?
Man, such a waste of a hulking brute.
Thank you.
So we're all just going to cower behind the boy that doesn't know how to fight. Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
We're dead. So very, very dead.
Oh yeah, there was an angry troll behind us. They follow Blinky and Arg with Big and Scary hot on their trail, and the armor finally works, conveniently waiting till the last possible second. But now, hero and villain finally square off, moonlight reflecting off his armor, poised to do battle for the sake of the world.
Nope.
Well, let's face it, that's what we would have done in that situation. Dark and Angry turns out to be too fast for him, though, forcing Jim into battle. And I'll give him credit, for a kid that's never wielded anything bigger than a kitchen knife, he holds his own pretty well. That or trolls aren't very good at fighting. Big and strong, yes, but maybe they just lack that certain finesse that can make them legendary warriors. Anyway, Jim makes a desperate escape amidst the battle and finds himself safe and sound in a magical zone that bad trolls can't get into because reasons. And we get introduced to...
This is the world you are bound to protect. This is Heartstone Troll Market.
That was Troll Hunters, and holy macadamia, what took me so long to watch this? This show has literally everything. Action, adventure, suspense, romance, mystery, you name it, they've got it. The characters are wonderful, memorable, and enjoyable. Jim is kind, brave kid that's going above and beyond for his family. Toby could have easily fallen into the category of annoying sidekicks, but he's well balanced. And Blinky and Arg are a delightful duo throughout the entire show. The art and character design is amazing. Not only do the humans look great, but the trolls are amazingly creative, and trust me, you haven't even seen the best they have to offer. The story is compelling and fun. Each time an episode ends, you have to know what happens next. Example, after my Spirit Writing free review, I learned to never only watch one episode. So I have the habit of watching at least 4-ish episodes, and well, I accidentally binge-watched the entire first season. That's how good it is. I can't wait to see more. I can't recommend it enough. And if you were like me, and you were pushing this show to the back of your watch list for some reason, you're really missing out. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and this is Squirrel Talk Review. I thank my loyal subjects for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Also, make sure to find time to go check out Troll Hunters. And please support the program here on Patreon.